recently saw a video about Mr. Let Go. I'm not even going to get into who he is, but he has been talking about black single mothers. So in a gleeful tone, he happily said, "Single mothers, it's over for you. The American government has been buying you homes, buying you Bentleys, getting you jewelry. You've been eating steak and lobster. You have been just excelling and living the comfortable life, not having to work, not having to do anything. You have been living your best life and you are in luxury, and black single mothers, it's over for you now." And basically he is talking about the whole thing with the Section 8 vouchers, and that is to help people within a certain income bracket find suitable lodging. He is happy about this. He is saying that no, you don't get to go to the government and get housing and food to feed your children because the man may have ran out on you, or maybe he passed away, or whatever the reason is. You don't get that. You're going to have to go out here and you are going to have to bend the knee and lay on your front so you can be a doormat so he can wipe his feet on your back. And you're going to have to deal with it so you can be taken care of. With them making only $40,000 a year on average, if you want a piece of that, you're going to have to deal with our dysfunctional, degenerate behavior because you have nowhere else to go and nowhere to run. How wicked and evil. Now, I just wanted to talk about this situation because I've done videos like this before. A lot of people who are talking about benefits, they're mad because they don't qualify for benefits. They're very extremely mad, and they feel like some of the people who do get them, they are lazy, they don't work, they think that they are doing some type of fraud. They really don't understand, and I'm talking about men and women say this. They really don't care about people, because if they did, they would do a deeper dive. Since I've worked within that field, I know the truth about the cases. I know the truth about the people who are on benefits, how they wish they didn't have to go through all of these loops and provide all of this paperwork and do all of this extra because they have such minimal resources available to them. And it's not their fault. It has nothing to do with them being uneducated. It has nothing to do with all bad choices. No, this is regular people who have families, who live in this country, who paycheck is failing to keep up with the cost. And this was before inflation. Now it says here, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has been issuing a series of annual reports on the demographics and economic characters of households and individuals participating in the SNAP program. That's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, meaning people do not have enough money to pay for food. SNAP targets those in greatest need. Among those participating in the program are children, and I've said that in a previous video years ago. The majority of the people who receive SNAP benefits are children, the elderly, or individuals with a disability. And this is what I talk about with people who say things about people who get these benefits. You're talking about taking food out of the mouths of children. You don't give a damn about older people and the elderly, and you definitely do not care about disabled people. In fact, 86% of all SNAP benefits go to households that include a child, elderly person, or a person with disability. In addition, about 92% of all SNAP benefits go to household with income, not without income, not working. It says with income, or below the federal poverty line, meaning they're working for a company and the money that they are bringing in is below the federal poverty line. It puts them in eligibility. They are working. They go to work 5 days a week, or however their schedule is set up. And they do not make enough money to get food. So they become eligible for this assistance. So now you cannot argue with people who say this, even though I've said I've worked in the field before. It's right here in black and white. So anybody saying anything different, you can pull this article. I'll leave it in the description box. And just say, you're BSing and you're bitter because you didn't qualify for the benefits, which is crazy because you have to be in extreme poverty to benefit from it. Anyway, SNAP recipients represented different races or ethnicities. The percentages are wrong. I would say Black people is a little less. Asian is correct. Native American is correct. And with Caucasian, it's higher than that. Because I know how things work when they are putting in those statistics. So it's skewed. But it says white about 37%, African American 26%, Hispanic 16%, Asian 3%, and Native American 2%. And about 16% of participants are recognized as race unknown. So you can take that race unknown and you go ahead, put that in the Caucasian. They do have it split up by white non-Spanish speaking and white Spanish speaking, because I actually saw some cases and these had larger households with children in it and the parents in it, and it was a lot of people in these cases where they were marked unknown when it was known, because you can go into their application, or if they have previously applied for benefits, you can go in those past applications and pull up whatever information is there. And specifically, I remember updating a case and it came back unknown again. So they do this on purpose to skew the statistics. Many SNAP households have earned income. Almost 1/3 of SNAP households have earned income, though only 20% of the household have gross monthly income above the federal poverty line. The average SNAP household monthly gross income is $872 and net $398, which is a shame, which lets you know the state of this country and the greed and how disgusting it really is out here. And like I said, one of the worst things for anyone who works within this field is somebody being paid weekly and having children and having health benefits, because you have to put in 3 months of income and you have to put every week of income in there to the correct decimal point. And that was painful. The vast majority of SNAP households do not receive cash welfare benefits. Only 4% of all SNAP household and only 10% of household with children receive benefits, meaning TANF. That's the temporary assistance for needy families. That's cash. They don't give out cash anymore. It's disgusting. I mean, there are things that you can't buy with SNAP benefits and you would need cash. And I'm sure, that cash is going to someone like Brent Favre or the governor who was taking his friends on lavish vacations and buying shrimp and see, that's the one who's buying shrimp and lobster with the benefits. SNAP fights poverty. More than 9% of participants move above the poverty line when SNAP benefits were included in gross income, and 10% of the lowest SNAP household move out of deep poverty. SNAP benefits adequacy is a serious concern. About 36% of SNAP households receive the maximum allotment. The other 64% of participants receive less than the max and are expected to spend some of their own income on food to make up the difference. According to one calculation, the average monthly benefits per household is $258 in fiscal year 2019, as described in a prior FRAC analysis. The greatest shortcoming of SNAP is that benefits for most households are not enough to get them through the entire month without hunger and being forced to sacrifice nutrition quality, meaning they're going to have to use money to buy it that they don't have, which made them eligible for the benefits, or they're going to starve, or they're going to have to go to a food bank. And that's not guaranteed in their area. And they may not be able to travel as far as they need to visit a food bank. With all the food waste, with all the imperfect food that is thrown out, this is a travesty, and it should be an embarrassment to this nation. But you have somebody like Mr. Let Go sitting up here laughing at children not having enough to eat, maybe having to go to bed at night because his punk ass, yeah, I said it, punk ass, doesn't know what it's like to not have food and what that can do to you psychologically. And then you can grow up and have eating disorders and issues with or surrounding food because of it. And he's laughing, thinking this is funny because he's thinking about a situation where, I don't know, maybe a cute woman who was a single mother rejected him. I don't know what the hell his problem is, but to be sitting up here laughing at children going hungry, the elderly going hungry, and people with disabilities going hungry, you are an evil SOB. Okay, it says housing assistance programs such as Section 8 and public housing provide affordable housing to 2% of Americans, just 2.8% of Americans through rental and housing subsidies. The numbers are just huge. But anyway, 9.3 million American benefits from housing assistance. 2.1 million live in Section 8 housing. 75% of public assistance households are female-headed, meaning women, not just black women, women. And you wonder why women are acting the way they are. Women lead the household and have to take care of the children. $347 is the average monthly rent among Section 8 households. Oh, but this nation cares about the children. This nation, wants to ban abortion. But, all they have is some raggedy ass Section 8 housing, possibly. But anyway. Section 8 programs are under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, which is trash. Anyway, 9.3 million or 2.84% of Americans benefit from Section 8 and other forms of housing assistance through HUD. The median average rent among Section 8 households is $347 or $4,000 a year. The average annual HUD household income is $14,693. Sitting up here laughing at people in poverty is just so damn funny, isn't it? 2.07 million Americans live in Section 8 housing. 5.23 million use housing vouchers, that's HCVs. HCV is a tenant-based housing program that lets applicants choose their own program-approved housing. Tenants with vouchers pay up to 40% of their income for rent. It's supposed to be like 30. The local public housing authority, PHA, pays the difference via direct deposit. Housing vouchers are distributed by the Area Public Housing Authority. Millions more Americans benefit from other forms of housing when combined with Section 8 tenants. 4.6 million households are HUD households. The average HUD household pays $355 in rent per month. 66% of HUD users belong to a racial minority. 47 are white, including white Hispanics at 14%, as well as non-Hispanic 33%. 45% of HUD assistant individuals are black. 33% of households with children are female-headed. 35% of HUD users are disabled in some way. The average HUD household uses housing assistance for 9.8 years. Households using rent support or a rental assistance program remain part of their program the longest, with an average of 13.4 years. And a lot of this is split up between the vouchers because there are other programs. You can look at the numbers and percentages and work that out for yourself, because a lot of people will sit up there and say, oh, minorities get the most in benefit. And they don't. Now you can look at this. Median income is almost 80,000. Low income is 62,000. Very low is 39,000. And a lot of people are hovering between that area there, and extremely low is 23,000. There's a lot of good information here, and it's showing HUD households and how much they make, which is under the federal poverty line. And Section 8, it goes through all of the information that you would need. This is talking about a eligible property and what it should look like and what it should have, like appliances, kitchen and bathroom with hot and cold water, and no tears in the floor, no chipping, interior paint. And you know that these slumlords are not keeping up with any of this. No broken cracked windows. And people will say, oh, it's the people doing it. No, it's the maintenance of the building or lack thereof of the home. It goes through state and how many households per state are in a HUD home. And the percentages. So I'll leave this article in the description. You can look at it at your leisure. I just wanted to show this because I don't know when it became okay and socially acceptable to make fun of and denigrate people in poverty as if it's all their fault, as if there aren't other mitigating circumstances that have put them in this situation, as if they've been like this their whole lives, as if anyone who is in poverty just doesn't have a good work ethic, doesn't really put any energy forth in trying to do better in their lives. It is so ignorant. You would think the people who are saying this is uneducated, but honestly, they're just evil. Mr. Let Go, he was laughing at the situation where people were not accepting Section 8 vouchers. Immediately, what popped in his mind was a welfare queen trope, and it was of a Black woman, when actually it's children that are benefiting from this, the elderly and the disabled. But I'll go ahead and leave it right here. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.